Hi everyone, welcome to the Enthusiastic Buddhist. In this episode I want to look at the different spelling of common words in Buddhism. When we start reading Buddhist books, one of the things that might confuse us at first is the different spelling of certain words. For instance, in one book we might read the word Dharma and in another book it might be spelled Dhamma. So which is correct and do they mean the same thing? The answer is that they both essentially mean the same thing and they're both spelled correctly. In this case, both words refer to the Buddhist teachings. The difference in their spelling is because the first word is spelled in the Sanskrit spelling, while the second word is the Pali spelling. Pali is supposedly very similar to the language that the Buddha spoke in when he taught his followers. It's said that during the Buddha's time, that Sanskrit language was not well known as it was really only studied by the Brahmins, who are the highest and religious caste in Indian society. And since the Buddha was against the whole caste system and he wanted his teachings to be accessible to everyone, he chose to speak in the everyday language that was common during that time. Then eventually those teachings were written down in the Pali language, and these volumes formed the Tripitaka. So when you pick up a book with the spelling of the word Dhamma with two M's, you can be sure that the book is most likely referencing the teachings from the Tripitaka. As I mentioned in a previous video, the majority of the books in the Tripitaka are what the Theravada Buddhist schools revere and study. However, I should point out that when you see the word Dharma spelt with the R, it may still be sourcing the teachings from the Tripitaka, because as Buddhism grows in the West, it's becoming more commonplace for authors to use this spelling, which non-Buddhists are more familiar with. Therefore, an author writing about teachings from the Pali Canon might still use the spelling like Dharma instead of Dhamma. Now, the spelling of words like Dharma and Karma both originate from Sanskrit language. The reason these words are translated from Sanskrit instead of Pali is because they're sourced from the Mahayana-Buddhist texts. The Mahayana-Buddhist teachings were recorded from about 200 BC and they were written in Sanskrit instead of Pali because by that time Sanskrit had re-emerged as the most common language for studying Buddhism in. Now, it's important not to get worried about whether the book you're reading belongs to the Pali Canon and therefore Theravada Buddhist literature or Mahayana Buddhist teachings. When we're first learning about Buddhism, I think we should just read anything that we can get our hands on. We can worry about the distinctions between the different schools later on. To give you some more examples of other Sanskrit and Pali words that might mean the same thing but are spelled differently, there is karma and karma, sutra and sutta, nirvana and nibbana, arahat and arahant, bhikshu and bhikkhu. I've started compiling a list of common Sanskrit and Pali words that you can view on my website, along with a short definition of what those words mean. I'm sure it's going to be a list that I'll continue to add to. So I hope this brief explanation has relieved you a little bit of some of your confusion and helped you to understand why some books might have different spelling for the same words. So that's all from me. Please like and comment if you found this video helpful. Subscribe to my channel for future videos and check out my website enthusiasticbuddhist.com for more on Buddhism and meditation. So have a great week everyone, and I hope to see you in the next video.